So my name is Rendy, and in the Society for Creative Anachronisms, I'm known as Mistress Olrun Alita's daughter. I'm going to show you today how you can get an outfit that's not going to break your bank so that you can go to an event and figure out exactly what you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a couple of places that you can find mundanely, that means in the real world, that you can go and you can afford to actually get stuff that will pass for period, at least to get your foot in the door and get you there so you're comfortable when you go to your first event. So right now I'm sitting in the parking lot of one of the Goodwills here in Memphis, Tennessee. Goodwill is usually nationwide, so you should be able to find something like it. If you can't find a Goodwill, look for a thrift store or any type of flea market or secondhand store. A lot of them will have the same things that a Goodwill will. You don't necessarily have to go to Goodwill. This is just going to be an example that I use because it's what I have available for me. So stay tuned and I'll take you in and I'll show you how you can dress yourself and get feast gear. So one of the best places to go, first and foremost, when you're going in here, it's going to be linens. What you're going to do is you're going to look through at some of the different types that they have. A good way to start is going to be finding some sheets or maybe even table runners that you can make a tunic out of. A lot of times they have different ones that you can use. Here's some of the examples. This is a really good set. It looks like a set of table runners or napkins. And for kids, you could take something like this and make a tunic very easily. Here's another fabric that looks really, really good that would probably be able to be used. And then, of course, there's always the sheets. You can always get a set of plain cotton sheets and be able to make a tea tunic out of it. Fairly simple. And if you weren't sure, you can always use something like this as a shawl or a throw. Here's some more table runners if you need something a little bit warmer. There's always tons of sheets and items here in the linen section that you can use. So always go to the linen section. Here's a good one. This would make a good tea tunic or a pair of pants. You could do either one. And depending on the size of the sheets, you can always find something that could be used for trim as well as a tunic. And you'll be able to get something out of it for clothing. Men and women can use it this way. So don't be afraid to look in the linen section to see what you can find. Stuff like this can be used for veils, hardier coats. How you doing? And more cottons. This cotton looks good. And another shawl. If you're looking at ready-made wear, look for their linen section. This is the type of fabric that you're looking for. Or even wool that you can take apart, depending on how good of a seamstress or seamster you are. They even have outfits that you can get ready-made. This is a long tunic with pre-made embroidery, and it's $5. The shoe department isn't any different. You can find something like this right here, which looks like a nice little moccasin. You could take the fringe off of it, and these are $8. If you're not comfortable with those, even something like this would work. You're really just trying to get to an event. It doesn't really matter if it's like perfectly leather, period. You just want something that's going to be comfortable. These would even work. Let's see how much they are. $10. So there's really a lot of things you can get. So one of the other things you can do is for feast gear. You can always come into something like Goodwill and you can find things that you can use for feast gear. So for example, I'm in the basket section. Here you'll see baskets of all shapes and sizes, and you really only need something that's going to be able to hold what you need. So for example, $6 will get you a basket that's big enough for you to be able to carry and put everything in it that you need. So if we were going to say do this basket, and you need a cup and a plate and a bowl, you have tons of options. You can go plain, or you can go with something that's got a little bit of character to it. Something like this is exactly what you need. Just a nice little plate, which is, by the way, 99 cents. So let's pretend that we bought 2 plates that fit in our basket. And of course we need a bowl. So let's see what they got. Here's an interesting one. Or maybe something a little bit bigger. $1.99. So now we've got 2 plates, 2 bowls, a basket to carry it in, and now we need to find something to drink out of. Decisions. Ooh, nice. So you could get a goblet for $1.99. So you could have a nice goblet here to be able to drink out of. So let's put those in our basket. We'll get 1 and 2. So again, everything's still in our basket. So right now we're looking at, let's see, 5, 13, 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $15. And we have a full feast gear basket. Let's see what else they've got. I'm sure they've got other things. And don't be afraid to kind of look at it and, get it later. You never know what they're going to have. There's some Grolsch bottles that you could probably take something to drink with. Oh, here's something nice too. It doesn't have to be completely period. It just has to be something that you can use whenever you go to feast for the first few times until you know what you want. Ah, I see something we might need. One of the big things you're always going to need whenever you're at a feast is going to be salt and pepper shakers. So one of the things you can look for is something like this. This is $1.99. That would be your salt shaker. And here's a pepper shaker. Again, everything so far fits into our basket. And so for less than $20, you can outfit people, or at least 2 people, for a feast and not break your bank. So going into the Goodwill or any type of thrift store that you can find and looking in their linen section and their men's, women's, and children's section, a lot of times you can find just basic stuff. Scrubs even. If you find some surgical scrub pants, they work really good for pants, for regular pants in the SCA, as does tunics. You can do plain tunics. My best bet though, and my suggestion would be to go to the linen section and find some really good flat sheets that are made out of cotton. Some of them will have decorations like some of the ones that I showed you earlier. And what that's going to do for you is that's going to get you something that you can get into an event and not really spend a lot of money. The twin sheets, I think, were $2.99 for a set. So you're looking at being able to clothe yourself for less than $20. You could do a whole family for probably about $30. And you could get an entire feast gear set for less than $20. So keep this in mind whenever you're looking at things. Don't expect to be able to have to get everything, perfectly period the first time you go to an event. Just try to get to the event and have some fun, and then decide what you want to do. Okay?